Lohamba Mwene, Member of Parliament for Mangango constituency, Kaoma District. Chair, I'll listen in. Thank you.
Chair, I greet you and all the members of Parliament. Kaoma, you are most welcome to your committee, and Happy New Year to you. I'm Honorable Smumba Lucas, Member of Parliament for Nakonde. Thank you very much.
Before I call upon the Vice Chair, I wish to recognize the Honorable Member of Parliament in the public gallery for Kaoma. May you kindly come forward and introduce yourself as well?
Chair, thank you very much for the opportunity. I'm retired Brigadier General Morgan Stola. I represent the good people of Kaoma. Like you can see, even my team is very, very smart. Thank you very much, Chair.
You're welcome, Honorable Member. Vice Chair.
Thank you, Chair. Good morning, Honorable Members of Parliament, and good morning, Honorable Member of Parliament for Kaoma. I hope their works are as smart as they look. Morning, Kaoma Town Council. You are most welcome. My name is Honorable Kampamba Mlenga. I am Member of Parliament for the good people of Kalushi on the Copperbelt Province. You are most welcome.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. My name is Christopher Shakafuso. I'm a Member of Parliament for Mandevu constituency. So on behalf of the committee, allow me to welcome you to this committee, and as Member of Parliament, I welcome you to Mandevu constituency. You are in Mandevu constituency. So witness, before we begin our deliberations, I wish to confer you immunity according to Cap 12 of the laws of Zambia. When members of Parliament are in committee or indeed the House, enjoy immunity according to Cap 12, and so since you are helping us in these deliberations, you also enjoy immunity under this law. We expect you to be truthful and not deliberately mislead the House, because if you choose to mislead the House, the same Cap 12 can turn against you. And so we are very hopeful as a committee that you will give us information that will help us to come up with a proper report. With that said, I wish to invite you to make your submission.
Thank you, Chair. Once more, Council Secretary for Kaoma. Chair, I wish to submit the memorandum on the report of the Auditor General of the Audit on Constituent Development Fund of Kaoma for the financial year ended 31st December 2022 to the Committee on Local Government Accounts. Chair, this report is based on paragraph 38 and appendix 1 and 2.
So just for guidance, Town Council Secretary, you will only mention the query.
Okay.
And then you go to the management response.
Okay. Thank you for the guidance.
Yeah.
Thank you once more, Chair. We have queried under Kaoma Central, under community projects, contract for construction of staff house at Chirombo Airports. Management responses: cause of the query, poor curing of the floor due to poor quality of sand. For the door, the contractor had fitted the door before it cured completely. So action taken, the contractor was engaged and the door has since been replaced and the floor has been worked on. Those are the pictures below there. For remedial action, Chair, management has since acquired. These are technical pronunciation which can be done by director, but it's a hammer for concrete quality control. Another query, construction of contract for construction of 1x2 classroom block at Mulamatira Secondary School. Chair, the cause of the query was poor curing of the floor and poorly made windows frames, which were not closing. Again, Chair, action taken, the contractor was engaged to redo the works and has since redone the floor and worked on the windows. The missing window is also fitted. See attached pictures there. Remedial measures, management has since acquired the same equipment we are talking about for concrete quality control, and management has since intensified the monitoring of projects. Under Mangango, the query was the contract for construction of 2 staff houses at Kalumeyoyo and the Amunale Primary School. The issues of variation without authority there, Chair. Chair, I wish to report that the cause of the query was not a variation but a contract extension, to which the letter of authority to extend the contract from the Attorney General or Procurement Committee minutes was not availed at the time of the query. Yes. The authority to extend time was granted by the Procurement Committee. We have Appendix 1 there to respond to that. Management will endeavor to adhere to the provision of the contracts. Chair, another query was failure to complete works. I think the completion of the works, it's the same 2 projects we are talking about. The cause of the query, abandoned works by contractor even after being given an extension. Management has since terminated the contract and engaged a new contractor to complete the outstanding works on the project with the approved budget. Remedial measures, management to endeavor to ensure contractors work in accordance with the work schedules in the contract and complete the project within time. Another query, Chair, is the failure to engage contractor to complete the remaining works. I think these were continuing from the same 2 projects we are talking about. The delay was as a result of adhering to the prescribed procurement processes and the contract clearance. Action taken, procurement processes and clearance concluded, and the contractor on site to complete the work. Chair. Remedial measure, management to endeavor to adhere to the procurement processes and procedures. Another one is the contract for the construction of 1x3 classroom block in Shavo Community School, Mangango constituents, failure to provide toilets. Chair, the cause of the query is lack of permanent toilets at the Shavo Community School was caused by the phasing of the projects. Management through the CTF committee has allocated funds for the construction of the VIP under the 2024 allocation. There is evidence on Appendix 4 for the acquired money. Remedial measures, management to endeavor to provide necessary facilities to future projects. Chair, the other observation, this is failure to enforce taxi from contracts. Chair, the cause of the query was the lack of written authority from ZRA on the correction from the contractor. Management has since written to ZRA as a follow-up on the same. We've appended a letter where we are engaging ZRA. Management to endeavor to withdraw VAT from contractors once modalities are clear. The other one is award of contract with approval from the Attorney General under Mangango. Chair, the management respond cause of the query, failure to avail letter of approval from Attorney General at the time of audit. Letter of approval from Attorney General is available for verification. See Appendix 6. Remedial measures, management to endeavor to avail all documents relating to project implementation. Again, the failure to withhold taxi is appearing from Kawama Central. It's the same with Mangango. And I think for the purpose of time, we have given the same response to the other one. maybe I may be allowed to skip this arrangement. Chair, seeking your guidance.
You can go ahead and skip it.
Thank you so much. Then, Chair, we've got B, cross-cutting audit findings. Yeah, because of the queries variation, the variation of 2 million per each constituency was as a result of the deduction which was done from source for the procurement of CDF vehicles for project monitoring. The balance brought forward of 2.1 million for Kaoma Central and 2.167784 for Mangango was due to the late receipt of funds. 1.6 million was received late, and 593,258 was already committed to the capital project for each constituency. Chair, the other one is unspent funds, which is the community project loans and grants. Action taken, council has since spent 17,536,450 under Kaoma Central and 15,742 under Mangango, as shown in the tables below. Remedial measures management will endeavor to expedite projects implementation in line with the program guidelines. Appendix 2, this is failure to spend. This is under Mangango. At the time of audit, only 2 projects were completed out of the 46 approved projects for the 2 constituencies. 17 were at work in progress level. Action taken, Kaoma has since completed 20 under Kaoma Central and 9 under Mangango constituency, as shown in the table below. Chair, remedial measures management will endeavor to expedite project implementation in line with program guidelines. Thank you, Chair. I submit the report.
Thank you, CS. Point of clarification from the honorable members. Yes, Honorable Sumumba.
Chair, thank you very much. Before I ask Chair the question, I would want to find out when the council was audited, so that I can know how to phrase my question. Chair, submit.
CS, when were you audited?
Chair, may I speak from the treasurer?
Yes, Council Treasurer.
Chair, I may not be able to remember the dates correctly, but it was in 2023. For 2022. Auditor General.
Yes, we can find out from audit. Just switch off the mic. Auditor General, when did we audit Kaoma? Your mic.
Thank you, Chair. We audited Kaoma Town Council in October 2023. I submit, Chair.
Thank you so much. Yes, Honorable Smumba.
Chair, after knowing that the council was audited in October 2023, there is this query on page 8, award of contracts without approval from the Attorney General under Mangango. Chair, contrary to the Act, the Council awarded 6 contracts to various contractors at a contract sum of 3,026,993 without the Attorney General's legal advice. Now, when you look at the action taken, I'm interested, Chair. They are saying first cause of query, failure to avail letter of approval from the Attorney General at the time of audit. But they are saying in action taken, letter of approval from Attorney General is available for verification. See Appendix 6. Chair, let's go to Appendix 6. Chair, when you look at that letter, the letter is dated 18 December. And when you look at what is happening, it means when they were audited in October, they already awarded the contracts. I would want to find out why was the clearance took place after you awarded the contracts. Chair, I submit.
Yes.
Thank you, Chair. I may refer the Honorable to Appendix 6B. I think the query referred to may not apply to 6A, it is referring to 6B. Because if the Honorable reads further, you may realize that these were resubmission of contracts. We submitted the contracts, and at that particular time, we were advised on how we should go it, and we were asked to resubmit. And we resubmitted, and that is the letter which is which was there. So it was somehow the resubmission of document, which is again on Appendix 6C, where now we are written to that the submission of draft contract for clearance of Kaoma. So the 6 they are talking about are part of these projects which are on the Appendix 6C. I submit, Chair.
Yes, let's go to Appendix 6. The first response from Attorney General. Can you read for us the first paragraph when you submitted your first letter to Attorney General?
We go back to
Appendix 6A.
6A.
Read the first paragraph.
Reference is made to the caption and to your minute dated 1st November 2023. Written here, you see clearance of the contracts. I note that the contracts are drawn from a similar template and are similar in form and content as such.
Just there, we're just interested in the date when you took your letter to Ministry of Justice, 1st November. And the Honorable Member is asking you, why did you award contracts before seeking clearance from the AG's office?
Chair, I think maybe we have a mix-up which we need to apologize in the term of appendices, because if you refer to the query itself, it is saying in a letter dated 12 September 2022, the Minister of Justice guided that considering the draft contracts were unacceptable. That was way back in 2022. And this is what I'm saying, the one we are referring to, I think there was a mix-up which we need to apologize. And the response is for Appendix 6C. So this contract are in relation to this submission. I submit, Chair.
Honorable Mtelo.
Thank you, Chair. Yes, we are happy with the way you are coming out. So just to take us through properly, so that we follow your mix-up. We don't want to be caught in your mix-ups. Just go to where you are coming from, what you have just read. Your mic.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, I was saying the query which was being referred to is...
Speak through here, so that you are heard in Kaoma and the rest of the country.
That's a good one.
Yes.
Chair, the query which we are referring to is the issue to resubmit contract after they were unacceptable by the Attorney General.
Just there. Why were they not acceptable?
Chair, maybe the drafting of the contract.
Yeah, we don't deal with maybe.
Chair, the contract template submitted at that particular time were not in tandem with the requirement of the Attorney General.
Yes, and the query is the council did not redraft and resubmit the contracts.
Yes.
Hence, us asking about the dates
Okay.
on Appendix 6. You only submitted the drafts in on 1st November 2023, and the other one that you've referred us is also in 2023, after you had awarded the contracts. Hence the question.
Yes, I've gotten the question very correctly. This is why Chair was saying it's the mix-up in terms of the appendices. The appendix we're supposed to provide is now Appendix 6C in response to that query. If you look at the date on that one, it is 21st September when we received, meaning we had resubmitted and the Attorney General provided the guideline. The contract which have been referred to in the Appendix A, I think they are totally new contracts under 2023. I think we should apologize for the mix-up in presenting these facts.
Chair,
Councillor Simumba, then Honorable Simumba, Honorable Mtelo.
Chair, let's move with what he is saying. Assuming the very 21st September, you received the response from the Ministry of Justice, what did they say in their response? Did they clear you or they queried you when you received the first letter on 21st September 2022?
Yes.
Thank you, Chair. I'm trying to refer to the same letter. Yes. Chair, in the letter referred to is a clearance from the Attorney General. Of course, there are one or two conditions again. Yes.
They cleared you, but the 6 they didn't. That's why they told you that you should resubmit, Chair. So these 6 they awarded without resubmitting to the Attorney General for clearance. Hence the question, why did you award these 6 contracts without approval from the Attorney General, so legal office?
Chair, maybe I'm not getting it very clearly, but in my indication, I'm indicating that the resubmission was part of the 6. It was the whole bunch, but the auditors picked only the 6, which details I may not go into, but the resubmission is coming from the whole bunch which you submitted in that particular quarter. And they were resubmitted and they brought back, but in picking, only 6 were picked. I submit.
Honorable Mtelo.
I'm interested in the apology and the mix-up. Were you in Chongwe? Charimbana in particular?
We did, we were.
You went there to go and do what?
Yes.
To go and bring mix-ups. Yes?
Chair.
You go in
things.
Yes. So why didn't you do the correct things in Chongwe? I end there, Chair.
Okay. Honorable Manza, and then Honorable Simumba in that order.
Yes, on the same one. Yes. Okay, no, it's different.
Okay, let's finish.
Yes, Chair. I want to find out, because they are saying the letter which they received on 21st September 2022 was a clearance from the Attorney General. Then what was the purpose of the letter, Chair, on Appendix 6, which the Minister of Justice again responded to them? If they were cleared, and what is the purpose? Why again is that the Ministry of Justice cleared the 6 projects when initial they were cleared on 21st September 2022? I want to find out.
Yes, yes.
Thank you, Chair. If you look at the 6 which are tabulated there, you realize that if anything, so I'm saying we should not have submitted these as part of this. Hence the apology. Because if you look at the 6 which are there, these are totally different new projects. There is even an issue of Zax filling station. This is a program which we are doing with ZNS for using of roads, using a different fund. So this is where the apology is coming up and the mixing up. I don't know why we picked this rate and attached it. We just submitted the new contracts, different from the one which were picked.
Chair.
Well, in short, I may beg the Chair that maybe Appendix 6A be withdrawn.
Chair, now they are withdrawing. They are withdrawing their submitted evidence. You submit your own evidence. Now you want to withdraw. If the chair will permit, you may withdraw. So what are you going to resubmit? You see what you've done, CS and your team. You are so many, so economical with being truthful. Even the way you've written your responses. Thinking your committee will just take it so easy. We don't work like that here. If that's how you work in Kaoma, not with your committee. It will depend on to the chairperson to either agree that now you start plucking off papers, because we have to take it out.
Witness, can we go to the letter of 21st September 2022? There is guidance there in paragraph 3. Did you amend the contracts as guided by Attorney General?
Chair, may I call upon the PO maybe to assist him, to assist me on this one?
Thank you, Chair. The contracts were amended as guided by the letter from Ministry of Justice. Thank you.
Did you resubmit these amendments? Your mic.
I cannot confirm, Chair. So, to be truthful, I will need to still go back to my documents and submit a truthful statement.
Yes, Honorable. We can start with Honorable Mtelo, then Honorable Simon.
Thank you, Chair. Do you have those documents of yours? We're interested. Where are they?
Chair, we don't have those documents with us currently.
So, Chair, they've said they want to go back to their documents. Where are the documents? They do not have. That's the challenge I have with Kaoma. Why did you decide to leave the document? The principal is withdrawing what you have submitted. You refer to your documents. Where are they? They are not there. You are not helping your committee. CS, you took us to your officer. Now tell us, what should we do with your officer? He has no documents.
CS, kindly move closer to your
To
microphone.
your mic.
You
Kaoma
are
wants to
actually
hear
live
you.
on TV,
On the radio.
Parliament radio. So there's a concern that you are not audible.
Chair, I'd referred this one to the PO just for the purpose of institutional memory.
Yeah.
I know it's perpetual, but there can be a gap in terms of the handovers and all that stuff. So this is why I thought maybe for us to categorically answer clearly on this question, we should take it from somewhere. And
So the institutional memory is the office.
is failing us.
Okay.
Honorable Sumumba.
Chair, I would want first to get from the CS. Is this query, how have you answered this query? In the first place, was this query there or not? That you are awarded some 6 contracts without approval from the Attorney General. Was it there or is it there?
Chair, the query is there.
How have you answered then? Because you want to withdraw the documents that you are answering the query. What are you going to put in place? What are you substituting then? We want to see how this query will be answered from you, since the query is there. I will repeat, since the query is there, why did you award contracts without an approval from the Attorney General, since the query, Chair, is there? So that you take us through now to the documents, whether you want to withdraw others. When you withdraw, you replace. Chair, I submit before I make a follow-up question.
Honorable Monza, you have a follow-up on this one? Yes.
Yes, I've followed this with the keen interest. CS, what is the risk on the council for not seeking clearance from Attorney General for contracts, in your own understanding, when you don't seek clearance for contracts? What is the risk on the part of what obligations, responsibilities do you shoulder? Thank you.
Yes, you can take those two.
Thank you, Chair. Maybe I'll start with the last question. The risk is that there may be loss of money because the contract may be fraudulent. This is why we need to seek clearance from the Auditor General. But if you draft contracts which may have other implications, there is a likelihood that the council may lose money. Thank you, Chair, on that one. Then coming back, the issue of withdrawing, again, I wanted to make it categorically that at the time of audit, this was picked that there was no evidence that we awarded contracts with the clearance from Attorney General. Maybe at that particular time, we could not avail the documents to the auditor for us to show that this is what was submitted and we were cleared. And this is why we are saying we are not replacing any letter with the withdrawal of Appendix A, Appendix 6A. There is no substitute. Maybe coming from the follow-up questions, we did not anticipate that we needed to come with those other letters, those communications which were done in between after the auditor wrote to us, and then we resubmitted. Maybe we just thought we needed to bring the letter which is at Appendix 6C as evidence that at the end of the day, the contract in question, they were cleared. I submit, Chair.
We have seen the communication, and it's got a condition subject to the following. That's why we asked you, did you amend the contract as per guidance of the Attorney General? I'm now asking you, CS.
CS, oh, sorry, Chair. This is why I was saying maybe the PO was supposed to assist me, but since we don't have the evidence to that particular incident, we may say apologies rendered, and maybe we need to look at those documents and before we provide the wrong answers. I submit.
Chair, permission to maybe move to some other things.
Yes, so
Page 11.
as you move to the next page, the permission to withdraw the additional Appendix 6 is granted.
So
Thank you,
you
Chair.
can take out the...
So we are going to
you
new
tell us
questions.
what we should remove, though you have no other replacements. Page 11. I'm
Page 11.
interested, Chair. 46 approved projects, only 12 at the time of audit. Now, on page 12, they are saying Kaoma has since completed 20 projects under Kaoma Central and 9 under Mangango, as shown in the table below. That's the table.
Yes, Chair.
Okay. Do you have any other evidence to show that truly 20 projects have been finished in Kaoma Central and 9 Mangango?
Yes, yes.
In terms of pictures, completion certificates, so that we agree with you to say yes, work is going on in Mangango and Kaoma.
Wait. Additional, Honorable Dr. Mwanza.
Yes, on the same one, the same page 12. You have said you have completed 20 in Kaoma and 9 in Mangango. I've been struggling to look at the project status, which details the name of the project, the contract sum, how much you have paid, and for both constituencies. There's no that summary of projects done so far. So how do we confirm? Anyway, out of these 20 projects in Kaoma, how many have you handed over that are in use by the community? And also the similar question for Mangango.
Additional? Yes, Honorable.
Yes,
Senema.
thank you very much, Chair. Chair, in addition, number of projects completed in Kaoma 20, in Mangango just 9. I want to find out what are the difficulties that they are facing in implementing projects in Mangango, because they are approved at the same time, 25, and when you look at this table on page 11, Chair, there was a time that they completed both Mangango and Kaoma Central 6 at a certain time, but as days goes on, Mangango only 9, Kaoma Central 20. I want to know, why is it that Mangango, the number of projects that you have completed are just 9? What are the problems? And then, the number of work in progress, there are 12. Are these running contracts or the contracts have been terminated? Chair, submit.
Thank you. Yes.
Thank you, Chair. On the number of projects which we've handed over, I will call upon the depot to assist me. And then I may tackle the last question as usual. For sure, Chair, it is quite bad that we seem to be doing very good in Kaoma Central and we are not doing anything good in Mangango. The reasons may be simple. As much as we award contracts at the same time, we are facing different challenges in Mangango. The terrain is totally bad. Maybe this is the area where we have about maybe 5, 6 working months. because when we come to September, not in a year like this one, when we've got lengths, it starts as early as September. And then if we look at where most of the projects are situated, we don't even seem to have roads. One other thing is maybe even we didn't provide much incentives to the people in Mangangu, looking at the situation at hand, which at this particular time we could have learned one or two things, and we need to work on the same. Chair, I think I should submit.
You can hold on, Honorable Mtelo. I want the whole set of questions to be answered. Then you come in with follow-ups. You will come in. Can we have all the answers for the first round of questions? Then you will come.
Forget. The MP stated that at some point you finished 6 in Kaoma and 6 in Mangangu. Did the terrain change at that particular time for it to have changed now? How were you able to finish at some point 6 Kaoma, 6 Mangangu? The geographical terrain the same. This time it has changed. How?
So hold on, before you come in, I wish to recognize the substantive chair of the committee. Honorable Mulunda, you may just kindly introduce yourself.
Thank you very much, Chair. Witness, my name is Mulunda Darius, Member of Parliament for Siavonga constituency and a member of this committee. Thank you very much, Chair.
Yes, you may proceed to answer.
Chair, the condition could not have changed. But even when we are talking about the Mangangu generally, the same condition may not apply, because we have got projects as close as to Kaoma. And there are projects as the fairest very close to Limulunga. If not Mimitete itself, we may not have boundaries. And these are projects we are talking about. And when we are doing this distribution of projects, we were concentrated in areas where we felt these projects are needed than those closer to Kaoma. So the condition could not have changed at that particular time, but the tactic is those who are closer to Kaoma, we should handle them quickly than when we are having challenges. I submit.
Chair.
Before, I don't want us to lose track. Yes. I want the other questions to be answered.
But the way he's
hold on, Honorable Mtelo. You had asked a very important question earlier. Where is the evidence of the completed projects? Then we can talk about the terrain. Then Honorable Dr. Manza also asked about the project status. This committee would like to know in terms of where the other projects are. Then from there we can come back now with the follow-up question. Yes.
Chair, may I request the DPO to come in on the status and other things. But in terms of the evidence, we don't have the evidence at this particular time. I submit, Chair.
Who is coming in? The DPO?
Thank you, Chair.
Just immediately after.
On the contracts, I think that there was a question where we asked how many are in use and how many have been handed over. From the numbers that we have, all the projects have been handed over and are in use.
Okay, so the follow-up questions from the chair and then Honorable Mtelo.
Just a bullet one, Chair. Arising from the response from the Council Secretary, who said when you look at the projects, then you look at those urgent or need projects. I'm just wondering that the Council would choose now which projects to be done when all the projects have been submitted to our people. What criteria do they use to say this one can be done? Because service is required everywhere where our communities submit a project. So there is no choice. I feel there is no choice to say no, we're going to do this as a council, because the whole district, in both the constituencies, projects are supposed to be tackled. thought maybe there is a clarification from there.
Take note of that one. Honorable Mutelo, bullet question.
Thank you, Chair. Maybe to augment it in the first place, the Chair reserved to say it should come. When you say I saw you were guided to say, you say that these are very near to Kaoma. These other ones are in Cover Hill. I know the place you are talking about. Mangango and Kaoma. But imagine Lusaka saying now to say, first let's deal with Mandevu constituency. That's when we deal with Kaoma later. With such attitude, do you think Zambia will develop? We have a common saying here. Lusaka is not Zambia. Now let that saying also go to you. You will not do projects that are just closer to the road. No. You do all the projects. My follow-up questions to what you answered and to what your officer also answered. Chair, they have said, yes, we have handed over, yes, these buildings are in use. It still remains. Where is the evidence? Why are you putting yourselves in an awkward situation? How do we know that these are now in use? You can't bring a picture to say, here's a classroom block and the pupils are here. You can't do such a thing. CS. You can't bring completion certificates to say, now these are completed. You can't. You want us to orally accept it to say, yes, these projects are finished and in use. No one will accept that. Meanwhile, you delayed projects, 34 of them.
Your question, Honorable Member.
Chair, your committee will still take it. That these projects, they're just telling us stories.
Honorable Mulunda, you want to add to your question?
Yes, I'm actually leaving, Chair. They need me somewhere. But I wanted to stress the point that these people, the councils, the local authorities, Kaoma inclusive, have you been to Charimana, Council Secretary?
We went, Chair.
For how many days?
Almost 5 days.
5 days. Have you been watching the proceedings from this room?
We are, Chair.
And you have seen how much you have been demanding of the evidence, especially the completion certificates, and then you decide to come without it. Kaoma 400 kilometers away from Lusaka. 5 days you are there. And you want us to believe that the projects are completed and all those things, or just prepare the defense, then we are going to tell them and they should accept anything. Chair, are we in order to be taking things in this way? Are we getting anywhere like this? Thank you, Chair.
Before you go, Chair, for Kaoma, as we will be concluding, they will be required to submit their project status and all the evidence as regards to all the projects. Before we make our final report, we will need evidence from Kaoma because we would have tabled this report as incomplete. So for Kaoma, we will not accept that they go away without giving us evidence. The committee must be satisfied that these projects were completed and we need to know the status of the other projects. Yeah. Just before Honorable Simumba comes in, there was a question on the distances. Do you choose as a local authority, when you have given out contracts after successful bids, on which projects to implement first, or all of them must be implemented at the same time? That was the question from both Honorable Mulunda and Honorable Mutelo.
Chair, we don't choose any projects. These are community projects. I was talking about the distribution of projects vis-a-vis supervision and monitoring. Then it becomes easier to monitor most of the projects which is in Kaoma and those work in Mangangu but closer to Kaoma. in terms of choosing, this is why I was even saying these projects are scattered everywhere where there is need. It's not that we chose that this project should go this side, but in terms of supervision and the like, because there was that issue of 6 projects finishing at the same time. Maybe it becomes easier to monitor what is closer to you than the others. But in spite of all those things, I said maybe we could have learned 1 or 2 lessons, and we are going to do better, even in Mangango. I submit, Chair.
Honorable Simumba and Honorable Dr. Mwanza.
The Chair, the submission that the CS is giving to this committee over Mangango, the reason why you are not touching very much Kaoma, we have seen there is some improvement in terms of completing these projects. Out of 25, you have completed 20, although you haven't given us evidence, which is a good side if you have done that. So now we are interested, because when you look at Mangango, 21, only 9. Again, you are telling this committee because of the train. Now, Chair, I wanted to find out, when you look at the administrative cost on page 11, in Kaoma, you are done, you have finished. There is 0 balance. Again, where there is difficulties in monitoring, again in Mangango, you have finished also. Even with the terrain, the money doesn't know the terrain. Administrative costs, Chair, in Mangango, they have finished. I would want to find out, what projects were you monitoring for you to make sure that the administrative cost is done? When there is a terrain, there is just the time that you monitor and so forth. Which projects were those? Chair, submit.
Thank you, Honorable Dr. Mwanza and Honorable Mtelo.
I refer the committee to page 7. The construction of 1x3 classroom block in Shavo Community School, Mangango constituency. There's a beautiful picture. The contract has been executed and handed over to the community, but and the contract has been paid the full contract sum. But there's no toilet. And the toilet which is there is just a grass-thatched toilet, which is quite miserable to see. Management is saying that management through the CDFC has allocated funds for the construction of the toilet under the 2024 allocation. This is a project that was handed over, completed and handed over in 2022, before the end of the year. And there's no toilet, basically. And management thought it wise to sit through the CDFC and allocate funds for a toilet to that particular school in the 2024 budget. Why didn't you allocate funds in the 2023? How much does a toilet cost? The other question on the same, you're saying lack of permanent, the cause of queries because of lack of permanent toilets at Shavo Secondary School was caused by the phasing of the project. Phasing of the project, which means you are conducting projects in different lots. So this 1x3 classroom could have been maybe phase 1. So I'm expecting maybe a phase 2 that maybe I'm looking at phase 2. So are we saying that the phase 2 project is just going to be a toilet at that Shavo Primary School? And when you are referring us to Appendix 4, I cannot even see the allocation for phase 2. Maybe you can show me. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you, Chair. I may call upon the DPO to assist me in providing
Maybe
answers
before
to
you
that
call
one.
him, are you able to answer the question from Honorable Simumba?
On the administrative cost,
Yes.
I've seen the figures, and this one I'll refer it to the council treasurer.
All right.
Chair, on the administrative cost, it's true, as at 2022, we don't have a balance outstanding for administrative component.
Where is the ledger? Sorry, Mr. Chair. Where is the ledger so that we can scrutinize your expenditure on this administration cost?
Chair, I would
Is
ask
it in
that
document what?
when submitting the information that has been requested on the projects, I will even provide the ledger.
The question, CS, is what activities were you undertaking using the administrative funds?
Chair,
Looking at the number of uncompleted projects,
the key activities on
especially in Mangango.
the key activities on the administrative cost is monitoring and supervision of these projects. That one we may not run away from, but it's sufficing to say that maybe they could have one or two issues which have come in, which we didn't look at critically. Maybe this is why we're requesting, as we are submitting the ledgers, we may provide the better answers on that one. Chair, I submit.
Before, there is a question from Honorable Dr. Manza, which you referred to. Yes.
Thank you, Chair, for that question. The phased approach, I must be quick to mention that Mangango is quite vast, and the cost of implementation of these projects is a little bit on the higher side. So when the projects are being done, we look at all the needy areas as we receive submissions from the wards. So the phasing approach is an aspect where we look at the same toilets, in other cases ablution, staff houses, and so forth. So that it doesn't, you don't lump all the amounts on one place. That is how come this was considered under the 2024, because there were some places which were left out in the constituents that were handled under 2023. And when it comes to the resolution itself under Appendix 4, you go to the table on number 28, that was a submission, and on those that were recommended, it is falling on number 8. Under Mangango Ward. That is the Annex 4. Annex 4, the first one is 28 under Mangango Ward, and the other one is on number 8 for those that were shortlisted for implementation on number 8. Under Mangango.
Yes. Private school and the Shawo Community School are two different places altogether. And this is a school that has missed the toilet in 2023, and right now it is under usage. And then I mean, right now it's under usage, and when we have communicable diseases outbreaks, surely is this planning? Anyway, you did not allocate a toilet for this particular school, because what you have told us on Project 8, these toilets are going to Mulundu Primary School. They are not going to Shawo.
Chair, the second from last page, from Annex 4.
Number what?
Number 8. Saying construction of ablution block at Shawo Primary School in Mangango Ward. Second from last page, where we have the signatures. Yes, that is the one I was referring to, number 8. Yes, on the submission, it was falling under Mangango 8, which is 28, and on the approved projects or recommended projects, it is on number 8.
I have two figures for the same. Where you have referred us, the approved amount is 600, and just 2 pages before, on number 28, again it's captured, and the approved amount is 949, but with the contract amount being 818 on both. So which one are we taking?
The one on the recommended, because looking at the resources that remained, there were a bit of adjustment in terms of the size. That's how come on the recommended part, we recommended what will fit in that size, which was adjusted.
Yes, that one we take note. But you have submitted the same project.
Yes.
Are you there on number 28? That is where you referred the committee. It's on number 8 according to your submission. Then just flip a page before that. And
I've seen it.
On 28, have you seen the approved amount here? It's 949. And on number 8 it's 600. So which one should the committee take?
The 600.
That is what was approved.
Yes.
What about the engineer's estimate is?
So for the 949, that was for a bigger size at that point when the committee, but when we did the tabulations, we found that it was way over the allocation. So there was a request to reduce the size of the ablution block, which now came to 600.
Honorable Mtien.
First, back to the treasurer. So maybe I can be of help. The administration cost. How much did you spend? Look at your table. Page 11.
Sorry, Chair, there is an ambition I've already noticed.
So but how much did you spend?
The whole amount was spent, which is here.
But according to the table, how much?
0.
Yes, meaning you are not doing any activities in Mangango. But back to you, that's why we were asking for the ledger. If we were to go into this account, are we going to find this money? No. Use your mic.
No, Chair.
So why are you wanting to confuse your committee? Yes. Why are you giving this mixed up information? What are your intentions?
No any intention, Chair.
But when the information is coming the way it's coming, as if you have some hidden agenda. Now back to Shavo. CS, you remember you said no because we wanted to deal with Mangango, which is a bit closer to Kaoma. And Shavo, if I'm not mistaken, it's just by ZNS, yes or no?
For sure, Chair.
So why didn't you do the toilet? It's just along the road. It's not in the far-flung area like Kaba Hill. This time you never thought of that.
Chair, this omission was at the planning stage. Yeah. And maybe this is why, sorry, not maybe, this is why DP was trying to explain that at that particular time we did the phased arrangement.
Yes.
Where we are running to
remember you told your committee to say we wanted to deal first with the places which are easily accessed. And this is one of them.
Maybe.
No wonder you are just trying to, what you think you can concoct to bring to your committee. Unfortunately, not with this committee.
Maybe a concern, CS. On page 7, you constructed this classroom block at a contract sum of 601,000 kwacha. And you want to construct an ablution block costing 818,000 kwacha. 600,000 kwacha. What kind of ablution? No, but initially the engineer's estimates, it was 949. What type of ablution block is this?
Thank you, Chair. Maybe the amount includes the equipping of the drilling of the bores and the equipping and the tank stand. So it's the whole amount. It should be a waterborne.
So your committee is supposed to guess. I remember we said you shouldn't mislead this committee, but on all queries, you are making the committee to guess what you are trying to do.
Apologize once more.
Any further clarifications, honorable members? Honorable Dr. Mwanza.
My question hasn't been answered also as to why did this Shawo Primary School miss out in the 2023 budget, considering that the structure that you put there, the 1x3 classroom block, would be obsolete. You would not use it without sanitation facilities. So it should have been taken as a first priority to put a toilet there in under 2023 budget. Because I can see that even from your minutes, the minutes, you just convened this meeting just few days before coming to answer to the audit queries. It was just basically aligned to answer to this to these queries. Why did you miss this particular school? And in fact, now I'm getting further information that it is within reach. Why did you miss to put a toilet in under 2023 budget?
Yes.
Chair, as indicated before, I think it's just an omission on the planning issues, and maybe we need to do better, because for sure issues of toilets and water should have come as priorities. So we don't have any serious excuse for this. Chair, I submit.
Honorable Sumumba.
Chair, page 4. Construction of 2 staff houses at the Kalume Yoyo and the Amunale primary schools. Chair, my concern is about failure to complete works. The contractor abandoned works even after being given an extension. Management has since terminated the contract and engaged a new contractor. But Chair, the council terminated the contract in October 2023. As of November, no new contractor has been engaged to complete the remaining works. Now look at the cause of the query, Chair. They are saying the delay was as a result of adhering to the prescribed procurement process and the contract clearance. Here, they want the contract to be cleared. Those 6 contractors, which they never even wanted to clear from the Attorney General. Here, you want to adhere to the contract processes. I want to find out, why are you taking so long to finalize? Because the people of Mangangu, they don't have these facilities and they are waiting. And in fact, Chair, Even when there is a burning rate, the people who are being affected are the members of parliament. Like are the ones who are implementers, and yet you are there to implement. Why are you taking so long to take a step? What is the status of this project? Did you advertise it, or you single sourced for the contractor to come in? Chair, I submit.
Yes.
Chair, there is a reference to the 4, which I may tackle. Then the last part of the question, I think the procurement officer may answer. Chair, I think if you make a wrong, and we ran through some of these experiences, if we didn't do the good thing, we cannot continue doing the same bad things. Maybe it's from that point of view that we are taking due diligence to attend to this one. Then the last part of the question, I think PO should assist me. Thank you, Chair.
The PO.
Oh, thank you very much, Chair. The method which was used was simplified bidding method, where 3 requests for quotations were sent to 3 probable contractors, and ultimately one was awarded the contract. Thank you, Chair.
Honorable, the same one?
Do you, again, or you are just submitting orally?
Thank you very much, Chair. A letter of clearance from the Attorney General is on appendix.
That letter cleared, but you've just said what you've just said. You did simplify the bidding.
Yes, Chair.
And one picked.
Yes, Chair.
Where is the evidence?
Chair, the evidence will be submitted together with statements.
Dr. Mwanza?
On the same project, this is Mbunga Yesu Contractor Hardware and Construction Limited. He was awarded 2 staff houses at 2 different primary schools. I'm talking about page 4. And the contractor was paid 100%, only leaving 10% retention. And then you decided to terminate the contract when all the financials were already paid to the contractor. In short, is paid 100%, because the retention 10% is just to rectify some defects that can arise within a period of 1 year. My question is, at what cost did you procure the new contractor? And then what is the source of funding? Is it the same amount of the 10% that was retained on the contract? Or first answer that question.
Yes.
Thank you, Chair. The remaining works, we'll do them in the remaining amount. We are not allocating any other funds to these projects. I submit, Chair.
Yes, Honorable Simumba.
Maybe if we can be given the scope of work of those remained, so that we see, because I was just doing my simple calculation, Chair. You find that maybe the money which was remained is almost less than 70 pin or 54, somewhere there. Because the 10% of 541 is 54. What is the scope of work that has remained? Chair, submit.
Additional, Honorable Mtelo.
Yes, before you answer, sometimes you can delegate. So as you are delegating, the question is the amount that has remained is basically for the retention. Now you are saying, no, we are contracting a new one based on the amount remained. Which amount? Because the amount that has remained must be held on through the defect liability period. Now you can give it to your officer to answer so that the air is cleared.
Thank you, Chair. I may call upon the Director Works to handle this one.
Yes.
Thank you, Chair. In terms of the works are remaining, it's glazing, painting, electrical roads and plumbing works.
Why did you pay 90% when those works are not yet done?
Chair, what was paid is not 90%.
Okay, what was paid?
Final closing IPC.
We right now we don't have the evidence right now, but it's there, which can be provided.
Yes, the auditors picked that you paid 90%, and what is remaining is 54,000, which is 10% retention of the contract. And the honorable member is asking, why did you pay 90%, only leaving out 10% of the retention when the works were not complete? And on top of that, you extended the contract without approval of the procurement committee, and you couldn't give these minutes to the auditors. Yes, Honorable.
Chair, on the same, we want to know the source of funding, since you have already engaged another contractor. Where have you gotten the money from, since the 10% have been held? So we want to know where and at what amount, what is the contract sum of the next contractor have engaged? Chair, submit.
So there are two. Maybe you can, is the auditor here?
For sure, the auditor.
This query, 90% of the funds were paid to this contractor, leaving 10% retention when the works were incomplete. Did you okay this payment?
Based on the IPCs that were provided at the time, we okayed the payment.
When an IPC is provided, do you pay without going to verify on the ground that the works have been done?
Ideally, we are supposed to, but I think at this time, I think the office didn't go to that project.
So you paid without going to do the verification as required?
Yeah, I think on that one we may have to apologize. I think we...
The second question from Honorable Simumba. You picked it, Honorable CS. We are going to undertake new works now. How much is the new contract sum for these works, and where are you going to get the money?
Chair, I think people can come in this on this issue.
Procurement officer? DPO or procurement officer? Procurement officer.
Thank you very much, Chair. There are two projects here. The Amunale, if I can remember correctly, was awarded at 63,000 kwacha. Then Kalumeyoyo, I can't really think of the figure right now, but it should have been close to 90,000 kwacha.
Before I take the next question, you are thinking, we want you to give a correct position.
Sorry, Chair.
We don't allow giving information you are not sure of here. So if you don't know, we'll accept that you don't know the figure.
Thank you very much, Chair. So for Kalumeyoyo, I cannot confirm the figure, but Lyamunale was 63,000. Thank you, Chair.
Chair, PO, procurement officer, even for Lyamunale, we don't work in abstract here. We don't work from without. Where is the money for Lyamunale? The 60 what?
63,000.
Do you have it here? In here, in this submission?
No, Chair.
Okay. Yes. So where will the money for these two projects come from? We are guessing, though we don't accept guessing here. Where will that money come from? Because the balance is 54. Where is the extra money going to come from? Where have you gotten the authority? Where?
Honorable Sumumba, you want to add?
Yeah. Okay, I assume we pick the 90 that
No,
we are not.
no, we will not pick the 90.
Now, the 63. The 63, and then the balance is 54. Where are you going to get the top up from? Which means you are just dealing with one project, and the other one for Kalumeyoyo or Lyamunale, whichever, where are you going to get the money from? That's the question. So that maybe if you have valid somewhere, you take us there to say, no, where we are going to get the money, can you check Appendix C? So that's what this committee is all about. Chair, submit.
It's the same question, CS, from the two honorable members. Yes, you can come in, CS, before I take the additional from Honorable Dr. Mans.
Chair, in the absence of the evidence, it may be difficult to answer this question. We will just request that as we are bringing other information in terms of the regions and spending the two projects, will be guided properly. I submit, Chair.
We proceed to another question. Honorable Mutelo.
Chair, thank you very much. Away from Mangango, now back to Kaoma. Page 1. Page 1, you've said no, the door, we've changed the floor, but the reason is because the sands in Kaoma are very bad. That's what you've told us. Where did you get this, the second sand to use now with the flow which is better? Did you go to Mitete since you said we are near? Where? And the door, I thought you were also going to say because the wood in Kaoma is very bad. So where did you get the second sand? Because the first sand, the quality of sand in Kaoma is very bad. Where did you get the second sand? The similar question goes to the other project. This time it was now curing. The sand was okay. The problem was curing. So why were you on the first page, same Kaoma? Different answer. On the other page, same Kaoma? Different answer.
Yes, CS, you want to add on the same, Honorable Doctor?
The same, just the two projects in Kaoma, page 2 and page 3. These, when I look at the financials, you have certified the projects are complete, and you have paid you are only remaining with the retention, just 10% only retention. At what stage did these defects manifest? Before paying the 90% or after? Then another question is, I've checked on page 2, management has since acquired a Schmidt hammer for concrete quality control. I would like to know how a Schmidt hammer would be used to test the quality of concrete.
Yes.
Thank you, Chair. I may call upon the Director Works.
Director?
Thank you, Chair. For the Schmidt hammer, the way it works, because we are looking at maybe the slab, or as well as if you go up there, if you look at the rim beam. So it's more of a gun where you hit it, and it's kind of a digital, where it's going to give results. For example, if you talk about maybe the strength of the concrete, if you say if you talk about maybe 25%, maybe MPa, things like that, so you are able to read from there. And
sorry for correction. These problems of floors cracking is due to the type of sand that is existing in that area. And your design mix ratios at the time of construction, if you follow them, you come up with a floor that would not have that would not develop cracks. And you find that the Schmidt hammer is a rebound test equipment, just to test the strength of existing buildings, existing concrete. You can check the residual strength on those structures, so that when you want to do some renovations or rehabilitation, you know how much strength you need to top up. So for concrete, for these kind of cracks that are developing, that are prevalent in the area, it's all about workability and the slump test, just to do several tests on the mix and come up with the right mix that will not develop cracks. Anyway, a Schmidt hammer is not very expensive, but I would prefer that once you have acquired this equipment, it is important that when you look at completion projects, you do detailed analysis of the existing strength, so that the projects, the monies will not just go to waste. So it's a point of correction. This equipment,
duly noted.
This equipment is not used to check that the quality of concrete, whether it will develop cracks or not. It is just used to check the strength of existing concrete, like in the bridges.
You are having free advice from the engineer. There was a question from Honorable Mtelo. Honorable Mtelo, you can make repeat.
I will refresh your mind.
As we end up,
the problem is sand. Now with the same sand, the picture here, no cracks. So where did they get the other sand?
Yes.
Is it from Mitete? Then
so on page 2, yes.
Yes. Then on the other one, no, it's the same sand. This one, the sand is now okay. The problem is curing. So help your committee so that the buildings in Kaoma are perfect. But to finish my question, maybe also give us the advice to say the mixing up should be this to that, even if the sands are bad.
A mixing ratio.
Mixing ratio. But where did you find the perfect sand now? Because your reason was no. It's not the contractor, it's not curing, it's not the mixing, it's sand. Is this the only building in Kaoma that has been used, that has this sand used, or even the other buildings?
Yes, Sis?
Director Works.
Thank you, Chair. What I can say is we just need to intensify in terms of monitoring, such that even when certain works, such as concrete works, are being done, we are right on site to avoid these problems in the future.
Honorable Kamundo, we welcome you and recognize your presence. Kindly introduce yourself as we wind up. Oh, you did? Oh. No, I love my son. I love my son so much, don't worry. Witness, as we come to the end of our meeting, we wish to thank you for the appearance. However, the committee has noted a few concerns, and among them being that you need to make sure that you obtain clearance for contracts before you engage contractors. This is a requirement. We've also taken note that you are not implementing projects at the same time in the two constituencies. It is incumbent upon you to make sure that you implement contracts, community projects on time, especially that you have resources. Resources being 2 monitoring vehicles. You have almost about 2.8 administrative funds for fuel and money meant to support you in the M&E function. For Shabo, I think the committee took note that probably you just went to manufacture some estimates to answer to this question. I will ask the auditors to take keen interest, and as they do the next audit, let us look at the scope of works for Shabo, because an ablution block cannot cost the same amount as a 1x3 classroom block. And so that tells us here that there is something wrong, and would want the auditors right away to take keen interest in this one. The auditor, this committee is concerned that you are able to pass payments without going to verify the works on the ground as required. You're supposed to do a pre-audit and a post-audit all the time before you pass payments. And so you being the goalkeeper of government resources, you shouldn't be negligent. And the committee has taken note that you are able to pass these payments against your job. And so you are you are the advisor to the CS on this thing. That's why you report directly to him. If the director gives you a certificate and you go on the ground and you find that works are not done, you raise the flag to the CS so that you protect resources. And this is why you only report to the CS. And so, lastly, we expect that you submit the evidence on all the projects that have been completed, and the status reports on those that are work in progress, so that this committee is satisfied with what you have submitted. As you go, we wish to withdraw our immunity that was conferred on you at the beginning. My son is reminding me about monitoring, and I think I spoke about it. It was the second issue. I spoke about that you have vehicles and administrative funds. So you need to intensify on monitoring. Otherwise, thank you so much, and go well to Kaoma.
My name is Jacqueline Sabao, Member of Parliament for Chikankata constituency in the southern province of Zambia. I was born on 29th September 1975 in Kafiwe. I started my school in Chikankata at Kavo Secondary School now in Chief Naluama area. Later, I went to Nakatete Primary School because my parents were living in Kafiwe. And then my secondary school, I was at Naboe Secondary School in Kafiwe. Then I went to do my accounts at Ivarin Horn College. Later, I went to the university to do my undergraduate in development studies. And then I did my master's in public administration at Lusaka University. However, I also worked, my first employment was with MS Zambia, where I was a programs officer. Then I went to COMESA headquarters as a programs officer under the youth department. From there, I also did a lot of research. There was a program under the University of Zambia Development Studies Department where we had a research program sponsored by Copenhagen University of Denmark. I was a researcher there. Later in years, I thought of starting my own business, a company business called Just Investment Limited. We deal in construction and general supply. I'm the director of that company. I am married and I have 3 children, all boys. Chikankata constituency is a Lulo constituency, and as we all know, it was given the status of a district in 2013 under the leadership of the late President, Mr. Michael Sata. And Chikankata is an agriculture area. However, we have a lot of challenges as a district because being an agriculture area, the most challenge we have is the road network. It's very difficult for our people to take their products to the market because of the poor road network. And then the other thing is that our people, they depend on livestock. But at the moment also, the other challenge we have is the issue of the diseases. As we all know, in the past years, Ministry of Livestock, they are not employing extension officers. Hence, our people, they don't have the information on how to take care of their livestock. And around 1989, a lot of our animals died. And hence, the levels of poverty went high in Chikankata, and our people started charcoal burning, which has also affected the environment. At the moment, Chikankata is one of the constituencies that have been hit by the climatic change because of lack of trees, meaning it has also affected the rain pattern in our area. So especially the northern side, Chief Nalwama, the rain pattern there is not good, but on the other side, it's fine. But like I've said earlier on, the issue of the road network at the moment is poor, and it has really affected our agriculture activities, which is the main source of income for the people of Chikankata. With the coming of CDF, as a district, we've put up a lot of developmental programs. Like I said earlier on, that it's a new district, meaning we need to come up with projects that will change the face of Chikankata. First and foremost, we need to look at the geographic setup of Chikankata. Chikankata is a district which is like 2-in-1, having 2 chiefdoms, and it has 14 wards, and each chiefdom has 7 wards. Meaning, as you are planning, you are supposed to balance the two so that you are not seen to be like you are one-sided. Naturally, as human beings, they would think, no, maybe she's concentrating much on where she's coming. However, where I'm coming from, this area, Chief Nalwam, we don't have a lot of infrastructure development, but on the other side, we are lucky that the missionaries came, those who built Chikankata Mission. So that side, we have Chikankata Hospital, which is one of the biggest hospitals in this country. We also have Chikankata Secondary School, which is a boarding school, and we also have a biomedical university, which was opened recently, and other activities there. And even when you look at the population, that's where the highest population is in Chikankata. But the other side also, we are also like as people of Chikankata, we are the one hosting the biggest dam in Zambia, meaning that the main source of energy in this country comes from Chikankata, the Kafue Gorge Dam. And at the moment, we also have the one which is under construction and almost completing is the Sino Hydro. But however, As a people of Chikankata, we have not benefited from this dam, which, as area of member of parliament, I'm trying to negotiate with DESCO to see how they can pay back to this community, having this dam, which is very expensive, sitting on our constituents. How do we benefit? 80% of Chikankata doesn't have electricity. We are not connected to the grid, but we are the people supplying the country and the region. So as a member of parliament, what we've done under the CDF, for instance, 2021, one of the major projects that we came up were 4 projects, which is the extending one of the secondary school to a boarding school called Chikani Secondary School. It will be a boarding school. And you know, when a school is a boarding school, it means you are not just targeting the local pupils. We are also looking at those coming outside the district, meaning the economic activities of that area will change, because a lot of people will come, and with the coming of free education and also the bursary being paid under CDF, meaning that money from other constituencies will come to this school, and it will change the activities, the economic activities of this area. And other things we looked at for 2022 is the issue of desks. We've heard the pronouncements by the president saying that he doesn't want any Zambian child to sit on the floor. So as Chikankata, under the 2022 budget, we allocated a 1 million kwacha to buy desks, and when we did the BOQ, we came up with 1,000 desks, which will be shared equally across the district. In Chikankata, we only had one sheikh that was receiving the FISIP from our suppliers, but under the CDF, we've also allocated some money to construct one of the biggest sheds in Chikankata, and on the other side, that is under Chief Nalwama, that's at Nasenga. And then the other money we allocated to a clinic in Upper Kalea. And then we also have 24 projects in the wards. Those are like a 1x3 classroom blocks, some boreholes, and also other activities. But however, coming to the 2023, we are looking big, because you know 2021 was like a pilot project for all of us. We were learning a lot, even at government level, at constituency level, even the local authority. They were learning a lot. But from the 2022, the way we operated, we've learned a lot, meaning going forward, we'll do better. My dream as a member of parliament is that come 2026, there must be change in Chikankata. People should see that the past 5 years, we had a member of parliament who had the love for this constituency. And I want the people of Chikankata, and even those outside Chikankata, to benefit of what we put in as a team under the CDF fund. My way to the people of Chikankata is that the role of government is not to give handouts, but to facilitate the well-being of its people. Hence, with these opportunities under the CDF, we have the grants, we have the loans. People should work together. What is important, what I tell especially the young people and the women, is that as an individual, think within your space, what can I do as an individual? What is it that I want? First, before you think of other people, answer that question that, as me, Jacqueline, this is what I want for my life. Then, what is available within my space? At the moment, we have a caring government that have given equal opportunities depending on what you want. If you want to go back to school, you'll still go back to school. If you want to do business, you'll still go back to business. If you want to work, you work. At the moment, there have been a lot of recruitment. As we are talking right now, we are still waiting for the list to come out of recruitment, especially in the defense wing, meaning that the government is offering the opportunities to all Zambians, but it's up to an individual to identify what you want. It's not the government to tell you what you should do, but you as an individual step forward and say, this is what I want, and work around what you want. What is important as a people of Chikankata is that the most important thing for a district to develop or a country to develop, the people around that area, they should love one another. There must be unity, so that you put your heads together and come up with projects that will help your people.
My name is Brian Kambita, Member of Parliament for Zambezi East constituency. And I was born from here in Zambezi East. And I grew up both in this district, Zambezi and Kabompo. I did most of my primary school in Kabompo, and then thereafter I came to secondary school at Zambezi Boarding Secondary School. So I'm a veteran of this place. After my parents retired, we settled here near in this suburb called Mushona, and therefore I am a child who is brought up from here and very familiar with the culture and activities of this place. And since my secondary school, I went on to study in the universities and then worked in the big cities, like any other people do when they reach that level of education. So I've worked both in quasi-government and in the corporate world, up to the level of chief executive officer of a private company. And I'm trained as a business manager from the Copperbelt University. I studied Bachelor of Business Administration and went on to study Chartered Institute of Management Accountants. So I'm both a business manager and an accountant. And most of my time I've worked as an accountant and also as a business manager in the corporate world. What motivated me to join politics, literally, is the way I saw the constituency, infrastructure, education, and the like were getting dilapidated. I think in the years around 1996, when I used to come for holidays with my family, I would go around to check around the constituency, and I would see how that in the education sector we were struggling to make ends meet. It motivated me to try and make a difference and participate in politics. This is Zambezi East. Zambezi district is divided into two constituencies, which are divided by this very big river here, Zambezi River. On the western bank is a constituency called Zambezi West. On the eastern side is the constituency that I represent in Parliament, Zambezi East. Zambezi East has got 10 wards. It's divided into 10 wards: Zambezi Central, Chitokoloki Ward, Mpidi Ward, Luitadi Lwatembo Ward, Lunkunyi Ward, Nyakulenga Ward, Dipalata Ward. We also have Kasesi Chivweji Ward and Zambezi Central Ward. Those 10 wards make up Zambezi East. Of course, we are looking forward to a delimitation of the constituency because it's quite vast. From here to the end of the other constituency, it takes about it's about 100 kilometers. On the other side is also about 100 kilometers. So you're talking of a distance approximately above 200 kilometers in the length, and in the breadth is also approximately around 150 kilometers. So this is quite a vast constituency, and we are looking forward to a time when it will be maybe divided into two, Zambezi South and Zambezi North. And that will help us actually reach out to most of these places. However, even before that, we feel that it will be very important to delimitate some of the big wards, especially PD ward, which is quite vast. It's almost like a constituency. It's a very vast ward, and we have challenges sometimes reaching out to all the parts of the ward. In terms of development, this place receives CDF like any other constituency. So when CDF is dispersed and the constituency is very vast, you go and thinly distribute the resources to places. And therefore, when delimitation happens and the constituency is divided in two, you somehow receive double CDF in that kind of area, which used to receive maybe a single CDF. And then you can cover much more. However, with the little CDF that we used to receive in the previous regime, although it was erratic, we did quite a number of projects, and especially in the education sector, which motivated my becoming a member of parliament. So I focused so much on the primary education, where we built some classroom blocks in various places. And in the health sector, we have done a little bit in terms of putting up health posts. Also, we tapped into the health posts, the 650 health posts that were being built countrywide. We benefited 6 out of those, 4 of which are already finished, and are operational. 2 are remaining, and we are still pushing to ensure that these are actually completed as well. Going forward, of course, with the enhanced CDF at 25.7 million, we want to continue focusing on the education sector. That's where the need is prime. And we are lucky government has embarked on recruitment of teachers, which will complement our agenda of ensuring that there's quality education in the rural areas. With teachers around, employed by government, and then we build more infrastructure in the rural areas, we expect the standard of education to be enhanced in those areas. This is one avenue to improve the lives of these people who live in the rural areas, because they will have opportunities like I did in order for them to improve their lives. In other development agendas, of course, there is more resources coming in for empowerment. We've asked our people to form clubs, cooperatives, and the like, and in groupings which can help them improve their lives, because empowerment funds will be coming either through CDF, with that and the other funds that are coming through the Ministry of Youth, Sport, and Arts. We expect people to get these empowerment funds, and therefore in groupings like cooperatives, clubs, and the like, they will be able to do something that will help them improve their lives. We also expect some more activities in terms of infrastructure development, though we don't expect it just right away. We expect the township roads to be tarred when resources allow. Of course, we know we are grappling with debt as a nation, so we need to slow down on infrastructure development. However, these are things that we really need. In my 5-year tenure, this current one, I expect that these township roads should be tarred. On the feeder roads, which is very, very cardinal, the feeder roads, the road going up to Nyakulenga and the road going up to Mpidi are very key, because these are the roads that would help those people improve their lives. Agricultural inputs have to be transported on those roads. They are currently in a deplorable state. And I'm aware that there is some discussion that is going on with some World Bank funds to try and rehabilitate these roads on a program, but we are yet to get a confirmation. I'm excited that this program is actually in the pipeline, and once it crystallizes, we expect that those very key feeder roads will be rehabilitated. Feeder roads play a very big role in development in our constituency, and on top of that, we expect that the RIA program, which already started, we now have a line going up to Dipalata on the Nyakulenga route, but we want it extended up to Nyakulenga. We have also a line going to Chitokoloki on the Mpidi route. We want it extended up to Mpidi. In Nyakulenga, we have a mini hospital that has been built. That mini hospital will only function if the Rural Electrification Authority will extend the line to Nyakulenga. So we expect that extension to be done sooner than later, so that that mini hospital can start functioning. I think in a nutshell, those are some of the development initiatives and my vision to see to it that this constituency actually develops to greater heights than it is now.
Introductions. Invite Auditor General's office to read.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, honorable members of the committee. Good morning, Kalabo Town Council. My name is John Siameja, Acting Director, Western Province, standing in for Auditor General. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you.
Good morning, Chair, and good morning, honorable members. My name is Donfrey Handongwe, Principal Auditor in Western Province.
Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Luvinda Sinyani from the Planning and Research Department in the Office of the Auditor General. Thank you.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, honorable members. Good morning, Kalabo Town Council. My name is Akatulonde Matthews, representing the Office of the Control of Internal Audit. Thank you.
Good morning, Honorable Chair, and good morning, honorable members of the committee, and good morning, Kalabo Town Council. My name is Oscar Nyarenda from the Office of the Accountant General, Ministry of Finance and National Planning.
Good morning, Honorable Chair and Honorable Members of Parliament. Kalabo, welcome. I'm Edwin Silwimba from Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, honorable members of the committee. Good morning, Kalabo Town Council. My name is Mulenga Bright from the Office of the Clerk.
Good morning. My name is Emmanuel Walia from the Office of the Clerk.
Thank you very much. I will now invite you, Council Secretary, to introduce yourself and allow your colleagues to do the same.
Good morning, Chair and the members of the committee. My name is Kamata Pongo. I'm accompanied by 4 officers. Mr. Cirilo here.
Sorry, they will introduce themselves. So you can switch off your mic.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, members of the committee. My name is Colin Cirilo. I'm the Director of Finance for Kalabo Town Council. Thank you so much.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, members of the committee. My name is Jessie Montali. I'm the District Planning Officer for Kalabo Town Council.
Yes. Next.
Good morning, Chair, and good morning, members of the committee. My name is Mututo Miendekwa. I'm the Director of Works, Kalabo Town Council.
Good morning, Chair. My name is Augustine Habwele, the Acting Procurement Officer, Kalabo Town Council. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Morning, Chair. Morning, committee members. I'm Sylvester Goma, Internal Auditor.
Thank you, honorable members. Honorable Singombe.
Chair, I'm grateful. Good morning, Kalabo Town Council. I'm Singombe Edgar, representing Dundumwes constituency in Kalomo, Southern Province. You are welcome to your committee. Thank you.
Good morning, Kalabo Council, and good morning, honorable colleagues. Chair, I would like to thank you for giving me this opportunity to introduce myself. My name is Elliot Kamondo, Member of Parliament for Mufumbwe constituency in Northwestern Province. Thank you.
Morning, Chair, morning, permanent witnesses, and good morning, Kalao. I'm Honorable Dr. Aaron Mwanza, Area Member of Parliament for Kaumbwe constituency, Petauke District of the Eastern Province. You're most welcome to your lovely committee. Thank you.
Morning, Chair. Morning, our permanent witnesses. Morning, fellow members of Parliament. And good morning, Kalabo Town Council. This is Luhamba Mwene, Member of Parliament for Mangango constituency in Kaoma District, Western Province. And good morning, our viewers and the listeners on radio. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Vice Chair. Vice Chair. Witness, my name is Mulunda Darius, Member of Parliament for Siavonga constituency, and I'm the chairperson for the committee appearing before this morning, the Committee on Local Government Accounts. Witness, members of Parliament under Cap 12 of the laws of Zambia enjoy the immunity in the House, and the same is extended to you when you appear before any parliamentary committee, that whatever you say during our interaction will not be used against you. However, if you choose to mislead the committee, the same Cap 12 will be used against you, but I have no doubt in my mind that you wouldn't do that, and that you're going to give us factual information this morning, the information that will help us generate a very good report to be submitted before the main house, before Honorable Madam Speaker. With that said, I will now invite you, Council Secretary, to make your submission before this committee with further guidance that you only highlight the query and then you go to the management response, you go to the action that you have taken as a local authority, and of course the remedy that you are offering on every query before us this morning. In that fashion, you may proceed.
Thank you, Chair. The first item I want to talk about is community projects, construction of maternity annex at Mapungu. Cause of query, management wishes to acknowledge the audit findings and wish to report that the delayed completion of maternity annex at Mapungu was due contract being signed during the rain season. That proved it difficulty to source for materials such as stones, as the area where the stones are found was waterlogged. Further, the works had to be suspended until April 2023 when the area became accessible. But the contractor could not complete the works on time and the contract had to be terminated. Action taken. Management wished to report that since it has since obtained additional funding to cover the price change from the 2024 CDF allocation and since written to the Ministry for approval. Remedy measures. Management will continue to monitor and encourage contractors to adhere to contractual obligations. Second one, Chair, is construction of a police post at Lukona. Cause of query, management acknowledges the audit findings and wishes to report that the delay to complete the police post in Lukona was attributed to the area being waterlogged, which led to challenges with accessibility and extraction of building materials, including transportation. This led to the extension of the contract period. Action taken. Management wishes to report that the project has since been completed, awaiting water connection by Capjo Marketing and Distributors, who has been assigned to upgrade 15 existing boreholes to small piped water schemes in Western Province. And Kalabo has been given 3 to be upgraded at the following places: Lukona, Mlinga, and Yuka Market. The site meeting between the contractor and stakeholders is scheduled to be held on 22nd February 2024. Remedial measures. Management will always monitor and encourage contractors to adhere to contractual obligations. Youth, women, and community empowerment. Failure to implement projects. Cause of query. Management wishes to acknowledge the audit findings and wishes to state that the failure to implement projects by loan beneficiaries was due to CDFC allocation less amounts than what applicants requested. Further, the loans are not secured, making it difficult to enforce compliance. Action taken. Management wishes to report that some of the applicants have since implemented projects and repaying the loans obtained. Further, management has continued to monitor loan performance through the engagement of beneficiaries, and management has further guided CDFC to consider allocating amounts requested or relatively close to the applicant's request. For example, Chair, in 2024, we have noticed an increase in the loan allocations. Remedy measures. Management will continue to sensitize the community and beneficiaries to adhere to the CDF administration requirements. Failure to utilize empowerment grants. Cause of query. Management wish to acknowledge the audit findings and wish to report that the 14 grant beneficiaries failed to implement projects applied because funding allocated were lower than what they had applied for. Action taken. Management has since written to the beneficiaries to utilize funds according to the purpose they were obtained for. Further, management has continued to guide CDFC to allocate amounts relatively closer to what beneficiaries request. Remedy measures. Management will continue to sensitize the community to abide by the CDF rules and regulations. The next item, Chair, has to do with secondary boarding and skills development. Cause of query. Management acknowledges the audit findings and wish to report that the failure to deliver 105 school desks was attributed to the tractor breaking down and spares needed had to be sourced from Lusaka. Action taken. Management wish to report that the desks have since been delivered to the various schools. Remedy measures. The Council will always ensure that the cost of all future procurement of school desks are inclusive of transport, so that the contract is on supply and delivery basis to avoid further delays going forward. I go back again to community projects for your constituency. Construction of a staff house at Kalumbu Primary School. Cause of query, management wishes to acknowledge the audit findings on the delayed completion of a staff house at Kalumbu Primary School and wish to report that the delay was due to poor quality blocks that were used, leading to the structure being condemned and demolished. Further, after this act, the works were suspended to water logging of the area. Action taken. Management wishes to report that the contractor has since completed the works. Remedy measures. Management will continue to monitor and encourage contractors to adhere to contractual obligations. Next one, construction of staff house at Kalum Primary School abandoned. Cause of query, management wish to acknowledge the audit findings and wish to report that the delayed completion of works was attributed to failure by the contractor to move on site on time. Action taken, management wish to report that the contract was terminated and legal redress was sought and an advance payment was recovered through certified works. Further, the CDFC has allocated more funds to cover for the increase in the material prices. Remedy measures. Management will continue to monitor and encourage contractors to adhere to contractual obligations. This contractor has since been blacklisted. The other one, Chair, is construction of a 1x3 classroom block at Litapuya Primary School. Cause of query, management acknowledges the audit findings and wish to report that the delay to complete a 1x3 CRB at Litapuya Primary School was due to the failure by the contractor to meet contractual obligations and instead requested for additional funding. Further, the area is waterlogged, making it not accessible and difficult to ferry materials. Action taken. Management wish to report that on 20 September 2023, management wrote to the contractor informing him of the breach of contract, leading to termination of the contract. Following notification of this breach, the contract mobilized and the project is at gable level. Further, additional funds have been sourced from the 2024 allocation and the procurement process will commence once the contract has, the ministry has approved. Chair, I want to state here that this contract has been terminated. Remedy measures. More funds will be allocated to projects in challenging places to cover for transportation costs. Further, management has arranged to plan for projects implementation by taking serious consideration of seasons of the year to avoid further delays. The other one, Chair, is at Tikuli Primary School. Cause of query, management wish to acknowledge the audit findings and wish to report that the delay to complete a 1x2 CRB at Tikuli Primary School was due to 3,000 blocks that were condemned and the contractor was stopped from using blocks until the required blocks were molded. However, at the time of audit, the blocks had not been molded by the contractor. Action taken. Management wished to report that legal action was commenced to recover the advance payment made and since been recovered through certified works. The structure is at ring beam level, though the contract has been terminated due to time lapse. Further, the remaining works have been revalued and the approval for additional funds have been sought and granted in the 2024 CDF allocation. Remedy measures. More funds will be allocated to projects in challenging places to cover for transport costs. Further, management has arranged to plan for projects implementation, taking serious consideration of seasons of the year. Chair, I move on to cross-cutting issues. Budget performance. Cause of query. Management acknowledges the audit findings and wishes to state The budget performance variances in funding were caused by funds withheld at source for the procurement of the CDF monitoring vehicles and community police vehicle. The interest end was I'll repeat that. The interest end was on the main account, and the funds have since been remitted to Control 99. The balances brought forward represent projects that were going at the beginning of the year. Further, unspent balances were attributed to the delay in the formation of World Development Fund, who are the key stakeholders in CDF project identification. The length approval process of CDFC projects at the time, an approval process that included the final approval of projects by the Ministry of Local Government and Road Development and confirmation of funding by, sorry, there it should be Office of the Secretary to Treasury. Initially, the basis of spending was on confirmation of funds rather than on the funds available. Action taken. Management wished to report that since it has since spent 16,169,895 kwacha and 12,840,488 for Kalabo Central and Riwa constituency, leaving a balance of 2.4 million and 4.5 million respectively as at February 14th. Remedial measures. Management will endeavor to ensure that projects are implemented within the financial year following the delegation of authority to the PLGO and DF at the local authority to approve projects and confirm funding respectively. Failure to spend. Cause of query. Management wish to acknowledge the audit findings and wish to state that the query was caused by the district had only 9 registered contractors who could not absorb all the 168 projects. Difficult terrain coupled with the underfunding of projects, for instance, projects such as the 1x3 was costing 450,000 in both constituencies, leading to contractors obtaining projects in other constituencies with higher project costs. The other one is failure by new contractors to meet evaluation criteria requirements. For example, out of 30 projects, 16 projects were non-responsible as per 12th December 2022 advert. Further, introduction of e-procurement to contractors posed a challenge, leading to the local authority requesting for exemption to undertake 2022 procurement manually. Action taken. Management wish to report that the overall expenditure on community projects for 2022 is now at 13.5 million for Kalabo Central and 12.5 for Liwa constituency, leaving balances of 3.1 and 5.3 for Liwa constituency community projects. Remedial measures. Management will always endeavor to encourage CDF committees to fund projects based on engineers' estimates. For example, all 2024 projects have been approved based on the engineers' estimates, and like in the past, capacity building for contractors has also been enhanced. Failure to disburse soft loans. Cause of query. Management wish to acknowledge that audit finding and wish to report that the failure to disburse soft loans on time was due to guidance on the operationalization of CDF loans to local authorities was issued on 24th March 2023. Action taken. The council has since disbursed all the funds to all beneficiaries. Remedial measures. The council will always ensure that preliminary CDF requirements are implemented earlier, even before funds are disbursed to local authority. For example, under 2024 committees have sat and approved all the CDF components. The next item, Chair, is to do with the bursaries and skills development and spent funds. Cause of query. Management wish to acknowledge the audit findings and wish to report that there was a low turnout on the bursaries for secondary boarding and skills development, which led to a variation of 2.7 million kwacha to community projects. In addition, some of the secondary school beneficiaries were under the Keep Girls School program, so they could not be funded as they were already benefiting. Action taken. In order to enhance accommodation capacity, 500 mattresses were procured for Kalabo and Lukona Secondary School. The council has since enhanced community sensitization through the engagement of teachers whenever they are meeting at the district or during project monitoring. Under 2023, CDFC allocated funds to construct 5 boarding facilities at Ishole and Liumba secondary schools in Kalabo Central and at Lukona, Lola and Mishulundu of Liwa constituencies. Remedial measures. The council will continue to sensitize the community on the procedures and requirements for accessing the Community Development Fund. Chair, I submit.
Thank you very much. Honorable members, Honorable Kamondo, Honorable Mwene.
Thank you, Honorable Chairperson, for giving me this chance to ask questions on points of clarification on page 3. Page 3, we have the construction of a maternity annex at Mapungu Health Center. First of all, before I ask my other questions, I want to find out, when were you audited? That's a quick one.
Council Secretary.
Chair, it is last year.
Which month of last year?
Can anyone remember?
September.
Oh, September. Thank you, sir. Through you, Chair, I want to, when I was listening actually to the CS, it looks like if it were my tribal cousin, I would give them a name. Instead of Kalabo, Terminator. Because they are good at terminating contracts. That is actually where we are starting from. Now, I wanted actually to find out why they have gone on terminating contracts, but I'll pick only one contract. This contract, you received the first funding in February 2022, but you only managed actually to secure this contract in December. All this time you waited, knowing very well that the areas where you are, they are very difficult areas to reach. And then you gave this contract to this contractor in December, which according to you, you have also acknowledged that the delayed completion of the maternity annex at Mapunga was due to the contract being signed during rainy season. That is a fact. However, you faced a lot of challenges with this contractor. And then you had a meeting with the CDFC. I'm saying this so that the other members also and listeners would follow up this, where you realize that this contract was undercosted. And the CDFC decided to allocate some funds to this contractor. However, you decided to terminate the contract. I've seen some communications that you made. You decided to terminate the contract on the 16th. After the auditors had queried over this contract, then you went ahead terminating this contract. And if I can take you to Appendix 1. Let's go to Appendix 1. The contractor, Honorable Chairperson, is Silver Bay Limited. Silver Bay Limited. I want to take you to the letter which was written to the council. After you wrote them that they had delayed, you communicated to the contractor. The contractor asked for some lenience so that you can give them some more time. Again, you wrote another one. Now, when you terminated the contract, let's go to the last one which was written the response from the contractor, which was written on the 15th of December. Maybe if you can go through, read for me what the contractor was trying to communicate to you. Unfortunately, the letters are too small, sorry. Maybe one of you can read this letter so that the members are able to. Yes. The one which came from Silver Bay.
Thank you, Chair. The letter reads, application for extension of the contract to construct maternity annex at Mapungu Rural Health Center in the Mapungu ward of Kalabo Central constituency. Under that tender, the above caption refers our request to apply for the extension of the contract for the above subject matter. We hope to complete and hand over the project if given chance by 31st March 2024. Your favorable response towards our request will be highly appreciated. Thank you.
The next one. Maybe the date, which date was that? That's for the 15th.
15th December 2023.
Oh. Let's go to the next one.
Sorry, Chair, maybe the order may not, maybe if you state the date.
The one which was written on the 24th January 2024.
24th January.
Is it 4th or 24th? It's 4th.
The last one, I think.
Oh, the last one.
Yes.
4th January.
4th January.
Yes.
Okay. This one reads, our request to finish and complete the project has been on stale because our request has not been attended to. So far, the money that was paid was a way too below to do the roofing, transport, and payment of the carpenters, which was the 3,000 kwacha. And the deposit was to be paid to a roofing company. The quotation that was given was 44,768 just for roofing sheets only. How about I don't know this.
Is that figure okay?
Rafters and
4,000?
The figure is not. I want to believe it's 44,768.
No, we don't want you to believe. We want the committee to believe. So tell the committee, believe that is 768, is it?
So the figure, Chair, yes. The figure, Chair, is 44,768.
76.
Yes.
68, eh?
Yes.
Yes.
So this figure, Chair, was for roofing sheets only. And then they are asking how about for nails, transport and labor. Requests have been made to the council through the office of the council secretary and engineering up to no avail.
What's your question, Honorable?
Yes. Anyway, I wanted you to go through that. So
your mic.
My question, first of all, the first one, why did you delay to give out this tender or to float out the tender? Secondly, why is it that you knew very well that in the rain season you were going to have, the contractors were going to have very difficult situations. They were going to have difficult situation to access the areas, and you went ahead and gave. Second, the other one, you terminated the contract after. Why did you wait until you were queried to terminate the contract? And according to this information which we have, the contractor is still thinking the contract has not been terminated. Why is it like that? And at the last one now, he's saying he had made a lot of attempts to negotiate with you, but in no avail, to no avail. Why is it that? Can you give us the scenario? What exactly happened? Thank you.
Council Secretary.
Thank you, Chair. The first question was the delayment and that the contract was awarded in December. It is true. it was awarded in December. What happened was we had to retender this project because of it being non-responsive. So we tried, it couldn't, no one was interested. Again we tried until finally we found this contractor. So that was the delay. The second issue, that also now explains why it was signed during that period, because we had already started advertising. We advertised first, there was no response. Second, so we continued, hoping that we'll get someone. So that is why we delayed. Then the other issue of why terminate. Chair, the contractor had written and we responded. He had written in September, on September 19th, he had written to us. We also responded on our letter dated 22nd December, where I said, take note, we said, Kalabo Town Council in the City of Ureta dated 19th September 2023, in which you informed us of the progress on said. Take note, however, that the contract period has expired, and since you are already on site, you have been given 2 weeks from receipt of this letter to complete the project, failure to which the contract will be deemed to have been terminated by way of time lapse. Chair, at that particular time, to us we had considered that the contract has been signed, because from the time the audit was done, even as at today, there is no work that has been done. So even when he was writing for now this year in 2023, the contract had already been terminated. That was our understanding, Chair.
Just a moment, follow. Now, in response to his letters, which he wrote, one in December, he wrote to you. The second one, he wrote it in January. What does it imply? Does it imply that the contractor really knows that the contract has been terminated or not?
Chair, I'm saying we wrote to him on 22nd of September, referring to the letter that he had written on 19th September. So we gave him 2 weeks, said, okay, since you are already on site, you will have 2 weeks to complete the works. That was not done.
Yes. CS, earlier on, would you confirm that this project, it was undercosted? Would you confirm that it was undercosted? Also, would you confirm that even if you gave it to the contractor, you knew that it was going to fail? And especially that you even agreed in the CDFC meeting that the contract was undercosted, and you were now looking forward to look for some more money, which you have varied to put on the same contract. Don't you think if you had given this contractor enough money, the contractor wouldn't have failed? He failed because the money was not enough.
Council Secretary.
Chair, I would agree to that. I'm saying the project was implemented in December 2022, but there was time and material variation from the beginning, so it ended up becoming costly. I agree.
Honorable, on the same? On the same.
Thank you, Chair. What was financial closure at termination, at contract termination, and did you have the proof? Because this is why the honourable member is looking at your communication with the contractor. The contractor hasn't yet done a financial closure with you as project managers. Where is the proof? Or let me just answer that question. Did you do a financial termination closure with the contractor? And then the next question, from your explanation, you are saying the project from just onset, it had time and material change variations. That is the reason why it led to the cost escalation that made you to actually apply for additional funding under 2023. There is no proof some communication between the contractor and the employer concerning these materials and the materials escalation costs. And the time of terminating the contract, you advertised. Now, this time that you've advertised, how sure are you that you get contractors that will be interested on this particular project? Because you have said from the onset why you awarded the job in December is you had tried your best. You tried 3 times. There were no contractors that were interested until only this contractor was interested in December. Now this time you've terminated and you've gone to further to procure another contractor. Are we sure that this project will have interested bidders? Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. That is our hope, that you get a new contractor. The Bureau of Quantity has been revised on the works that are remaining. So we are hoping that the money that has been put aside is enough to complete the structure. I submit.
The other question from Honorable Kamondo.
Maybe I will refer that to my director through Chair.
Director what?
Of Works.
Director of Works.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, first and foremost, would like to apologize that we didn't include the documents on the final closure of the contract, but I would like to mention that that was done, and the contractor has been paid according to the works that they've done on site. They've since reached the gable level. So what has been done is we've subtracted what was paid and remained with the balance on the allocation. Then we've revised the BOQ, then requested for additional funding to the CDFC committee to cover now for the works that will be done.
When did you do that? When did you request?
This has been done under the 2024 CDF allocation. 2024. No, it's 2024.
You requested for more funds under 2024 CDF?
Yes. Because 2023, all the funds were allocated to various projects.
All right.
The same closure, financial closure, how much did you save from this contract? The total budgeted price less the certified works. So is this 102, including the savings from the project, or what?
Yeah. So at financial closure, the works done were valued at 167,000. Then the contract sum was 303,000. So we have a difference of almost 140,000. Yes. Then there was 50, which was allocated for electricals, and an additional 100,000, which has since been requested from the CDFC.
So you've made this saving, and then you've asked for 102.
Yes.
From the 2024 CDF.
2024.
This money, the savings that you made in 2022 under this project, under Silver Bay, you have to wait for additional funding from 2024. Is that what we're saying?
Yes.
And the project will be implemented, it can only be implemented towards the end of 2024, denying the people of Kalao healthy services. And yet you've made some savings through the contract savings. Why don't you complete to make the building usable? So that you phase it. You phase it with the 150,000, something like this that you've saved. You phase it to make it usable.
Thank you. Council Secretary.
Thank you. I take note of the honorable member. that there is a saving. Yes, there is a saving, but when you consider the value, the works that are remaining, that 150 was not going to be enough. That's why we had to ask for extra funding, because the works that were done up to roof level, is it to oplet level, has been paid for. So we have either of us have any obligations. So now the problem is it is the delay. That's why we terminated. It's the delay. The contract period, however, is fixed. And also, Chair, I want to report that in the clause, in the contract document, there is a clause that this is a fixed contract. There is a request here where the contractor is making a request for extra 150,000 kwacha, which is outside the contract.
Thank you, Honorable Mwene.
Thank you so much, Chair. Moving to the next question.
Yes.
Chair, I would like to lead the CS to page 17. Chair, I must confirm that before you even reach page 17, on all, or if not most of these pages, what I can read from Kalabo is failure to give loans, failure to complete a project, failure to give grants, failure to finish off the project, failure. No wonder Honorable almost gave them a name as the terminators for various contracts. Chair, this is disheartening, because when you look at Kalabo and Liua, these are rural constituencies, and they need these services. The people in Liua and Kalabo constituencies need these amenities. So to find a council chair that is failing to complete projects on time or as required or as expected by the government is very disappointing, Chair. And even, you know, when the council chair doesn't deliver, insults, Chair, go to the honorable members of parliament. Chair, when the councils fail to deliver, insults go to the government, that the government is not doing anything. But the government has released funds to these constituencies for such projects to be done for the people. And yet you find here is a council that is not able to deliver. This is so disheartening, Chair. Chair, on page 17, CS, if I can just guide you there, saying Bursary Secondary School and Skills Development, unspent funds, same language. CS, on the cause of query, the first statement, let me start it with the last, maybe let me start with the cause of query, which is saying management wishes to acknowledge the audit finding and wishes to report that there were low turnout on the bursaries for secondary boarding skills development. Chair, I don't know whether Kalabo has got elite people that they don't need bursaries or for monies for skills development. I doubt that. I would like then to find out, CS, as a council, did you do sensitization so that the people of Kalabo and Liua are able to access these, they are first able to know that now there are these funds available for them, and that they are able to access them in this way and that way, and that they are able to acquire the knowledge they need and the skills? Maybe I first question that one, Chair. I submit.
Council Secretary.
Thank you, Chair. Sensitizations have been made several times. As I indicated, as we go out in the field, we sensitize communities. Every meeting, there is sensitization that goes on.
Council Secretary, when you say sensitization has been done several times against the results on your report, what do you expect members to believe? Do you have the reports with you on the times you have been sensitizing the people? Do you have the records?
Chair, the record I may not have now to submit, but I can submit the reports because they are there.
Yeah, but can you comment why, if you have been going to school from grade 1, from first term up to the last term, you would get 0 at the end of the term? Can you comment? Because you have been doing the sensitization, that's what you are saying, but look at your results. What is the problem?
Part of the problem, Chair, that we have discovered is that, one, there is a limited space in terms of these skills development programs. It's only Kalabo trades that is available. However, that was the problem. But however, now they have been encouraged to apply anywhere in the country. But still, in terms of demand for these facilities, the skills development is still minimal. Even this year, we have a similar situation. The demand, the absorption rate, the request from the would-be trainees is negligible.
What is the utilization percentage of the administrative component?
It's 5%, Chair.
How much have you used on that component? Do you have it here?
No, Chair, it hasn't been.
How much did you get as administrative component?
Maybe.
Treasurer, how much did you get?
Thank you, Chair. It was 1,285,000 for each constituency.
And how much is there now?
I can't really give the figure, but I think we have.
Yeah, just
we have
rough estimation.
We have included for the 2022.
No.
It was consumed.
No, I want you to tell me on 2022. 22?
2022. It was fully utilized.
Fully utilized.
Yes.
Now look at your results. If you have been moving, you have been going there until you finish the money, there are no results. The turnout is still very low. Are we supposed to believe that? Honorable Simambe wanted to.
Yeah, thank you very much, Chair. The CS in his response is giving an impression to the committee and the viewers of this very important committee that when the monies for bursaries was released, it was not possible for pupils and students to go for studies outside. Because in his statement, you have indicated that now it's possible. So CS, clarify that statement to me. Probably, maybe in your sensitization program, you did not put it clearly to the people, to the parents and the would-be students, that actually there was enough space, or they were allowed to go to Senanga, Mongu, even Choma, for them to go and study, so that upon their completion they can come back to Kalabo and help in the growth of the economy in Kalabo. So your response to me insinuates that probably you did not give them the correct information. Why now? Secondly, Chair, I also want to know as to what they did to the balances of these programs, because you're saying the numbers are too low. What have they done for the balances for 2022? Thank you.
What's that? On an additional question. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Take
Chair,
note.
Take note of the yes. Chair, I would like the CS to tell me the correlation between the low turnout of learners and the procurement of 500 mattresses. What's the correlation between the two? And then also with the construction of 5 boarding facilities, are these boarding facilities and mattresses meant for people coming away from Kalabo? That in Kalabo you have a low turnout, you don't have learners, or they are meant for the people of Kalabo? I submit, Chair.
Council Secretary.
Thank you, Chair. Maybe allow me to start with the last.
Yes.
Yeah, the last part of the
Go
question.
ahead.
Yeah, I indicated that part of the problem that the district has been facing is the lack of capacity in terms of accommodation. So the district, we are not able to take so many students. Money is there to pay them, but the places are limited. So in order to enhance capacity so that we can have more students enrolled using these CDF funds, that is how it was decided that perhaps the boarding schools do not have enough mattresses. So that's why these mattresses were procured to increase the capacity.
Yeah, just my apology for disturbing your line of thought. When you use the word maybe, it gives me there was no request. Because where there was a deficit, the schools, the boarding schools should have written to you requesting for mattresses. So when you are using the word maybe, it's like it was just out of your own thinking that maybe the low turnout of, maybe there are no enough mattresses. Was there any request? Because this is why government has revitalized the WTDCs to look into these areas where there are inadequacies. And then by way of a designed program, they should have written to you that at such a school, there is a need to increase mattresses. So just the word maybe is giving me a bit of uncomfortability, Chair.
Council Secretary, you appeared excited to get mattresses than to get pupils into school. So the questions that are coming to you now is that what was that appetite to have mattresses, and the same appetite was not, is seemingly not visible in getting the pupils into school?
Chair, there was a request. There was a request, and I also want to talk about the boarding facilities.
Please go ahead.
Currently, what is obtaining is that they are, weekly boarders? They are weekly boarders who are renting all sorts of houses for them to access the education facilities, because where they are coming from is quite far. So that is how the CDF committees and the Ward Development committees decided, and the requests are there, Chair, that let's increase capacity so that we can reduce the burden of pupils renting in any place. And there are a lot of stories that we have heard about the abuse of these children. So yes, there have been requests to have some boarding facilities. In fact, this is the first phase. It is hoped that it will continue.
So there is an overwhelming, number of pupils that are coming there, and they are renting around.
That's right, Chair.
And at the same time, there is low turnout from the communities. Okay, let me ask Honorable Mwene. Yes.
Thank you so much, Chair. I think CSA, you are trying to get to my earlier question. That's why I asked to say, what is the correlation between the low turnout and the procurement of 500 mattresses, as well as the construction of 5 boarding houses? Are you trying to tell your committee that the reason why there was a low turnout, Chair, is because there were no boarding facilities and because there were no mattresses, or what is What's the correlation? That's my question, Chair, to the CS. I submit.
Council Secretary.
There are two components to bursaries. There is one, the skills component, and the secondary school bursaries. The one where we have a challenge is on the skills part.
Okay.
On the secondary school boarding, I think the numbers are okay. As I indicated, the issue at the moment is where they are staying. And that's why, so it has nothing, so there are two here. The mattresses are meant for secondary schools, not for skills development. And I'm saying that where we have a challenge in terms of demand is only the bursaries. And there was a question that was raised. They said, what have you done with the money? We sought variation of these funds, and we sought approval from the ministry that the money be used to increase on the capacity of infrastructure. So the money that was saved from skills has been used to come up with the educational facilities. I submit.
What's the rate or the percentage of availability of desks in your district?
Chair, in terms of desks, the deficit is quite high. I may not be very accurate with the figures, but I'm aware that Kalabo Central may be over 7,000 deficit.
Have you received requests from the schools?
Yes, we have received, and the 2024 allocation, we are procuring, the committee has approved to procure some desks.
Previously, the president had put 2023 as the last year to have any child sitting on the floor before it was revised to 2024. How many did you procure in 2023, 2022, 2023, in terms of desks?
I will, through chair, maybe I ask my colleague to help me with the figures.
Yes, because seemingly secondary schools, you have overwhelming in terms of enrollment. So, procurement officer.
Thank you so much, Chair. In 2023, for Liwa constituents, we managed to procure about 595. Then for Kalabo Central, 760. Thank you.
You have them here, or you have them on your file?
Chair, we didn't come with that, but there is evidence to that. In fact, that's one of the queries we are being asked, delayed to deliver. It's because we procured.
Honorable Kamanda. Honorable Simon.
Honorable, I just wanted to take you to the area submission that you made. You referred to the administrative cost, and I don't know whether it is the treasurer could not actually find the page.
Yes.
I just wanted maybe you go to appendix 9 and 10.
9 and 10.
The first page.
Yes.
Yes, Honorable Chair. I thought maybe we look at that. When we look at the monies that were varied, we can look at there's 2 million from community projects and then also bursaries. I'm just wondering why they couldn't buy more desks from there using that same money. And also look at the administrative cost for both the constituencies. They are almost at...
it's negative.
It's negative. So now the question is, how do you compare the expenditure on administrative cost and the performance in terms of project management or performance in terms of the achievements that you have made? Do you think this is okay? That administrative cost can go and remain in negative? But when we still have actually a lot of issues that have not been... How do you correlate those?
Council Secretary.
Chair, I could be guided further that there is a negative on operational costs. But I want to also mention that if you go on the schedule there, the 2.7 million we talked about was varied from bursaries to projects. So it was an indicated area that what was varied was used to increase the capacity in terms of infrastructure. So that's where that money went.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Chair. Seriously, just to help augment.
That one I was just giving an example.
Okay. Okay.
So you didn't answer the question.
What's your question? You want to put your mic
Yes,
on?
my question actually to the council treasurer, maybe through you, council secretary, to the council treasurer. This one I was just acknowledging that yes, there are variations which were made, and with the monies were spent in various maybe boarding houses and mattresses. However, on the issue of the administrative cost, it's almost zero for both constituencies. So in terms of performance, how do you correlate these two things? Where on the other side, you are finishing everything. On the other side, you are not finishing. What is the correlation there? And even when you go back to the area question that was asked about that contractor, don't you think you could have even reasoned very well with that contractor so that it goes to site? You use the same money that you are trying to vary so that you don't delay the project to come to 2024, 2025, that maternity annex.
Chair, well, I think we have taken note, but also that we had so many projects that needed to be monitored. If you check on the schedule, we had over 100 projects, and these are scattered all over. So in terms of monitoring each project, it's expensive when you look at the terrain that we have in Kalabo. And in 2022, Chair, there were also, all of this money was not necessarily used for administrative component by officers. There was also money that the ministry had authorized to be used to train ward development committees, to train or to orient councillors, so it was not specifically used.
Secretary, you are not the only one who's doing that. These are members of parliament. They do those things. So please give reasons that the committee will believe. You know, when you say train, all these, we do those things.
Just one question.
Yes, yes.
Do you have some ledgers to show us actually how you spent this money so that we would agree with you? It's not only for monitoring, but also for other things.
Can you give us some documentary evidence of the activities covered by this money?
Chair, I'm sorry I'm not able to give you evidence now, but I'm aware that we procured the equipment, office equipment, and the analysis of how we spent the money can still be submitted, Chair. But for this meeting, I'm not able to explain exactly what was spent on what.
Thank you, Chair. It's a different question.
Let's finish up with.
Thank you so much, Chair. You know, seriously, the question that the honorable member from Fumbo is asking is very true and correct. When you look at here, you have spent everything. Administrative cost is all gone. When you go to page 15 of your report, you had 168 projects, a sum of projects from both consensus. That is 93 from Kalabo Central and 75 from Liwa. Out of this, you have only managed to complete about 110, and you have got 50 outstanding projects. What will you use to monitor these 50 outstanding projects when you have exhausted all the administrative component? I submit, Chair.
Council Secretary, you will not move, you will not do anything? The money is gone, there's no fuel.
Chair,
So,
the explanation to this one is that we wanted to exhaust, there was also money in 2023, sorry, for operations. But we had to spend this one first before we could start with the 2023. So in terms of movement, we are still going to move and the money is there, Chair, for operations.
for 2023.
Yes, under 2023, because some of the projects under 2023 were also monitored using the 2022.
You're not going to buy equipment, office furnitures.
Chair, I think now we are set. Most of the expenditure in terms of
Do you
equipment.
attend workshops? In Solwezi, Nishipata, Livingston, do you do that?
We do what the...
No, I'm asking, do you do that?
Yes, we do.
Yes. Thank you very much. Honorable Mwanza.
Thank you, Chair. Take the committee to page 8.
Page 8.
Due to time, I'll just lump the question into one because it's similar.
Page 8?
Yes, page 8 of the main report. Just community projects under Liua constituency. I've just been checking. I've seen 3 projects. 3 projects have been, their contracts have been terminated. One at Litapuya, 1x3 classroom block, another one at Kalumbu, a staff house, and then another one classroom block at Kuuri. All these projects that have been, whose contracts have been terminated have even led to the project manager to apply for additional funding. And additional funding is sought for in 2024. The reason to apply for additional funding, the project manager says that it's because of the rising cost of materials, and also there's that revision of the BOQs. So just from the sample of these 3 projects that have supported that contracts are terminated, you are denying the people of Kalabo district quality education service, and I think also there's no health facility, but quality education service up to almost 2025 because of a lapse in the works department to come up with the project estimates that befits the type of work that you're supposed to undergo. At the same time, on page 8, this Kalumbu staff house, I see that the council has blacklisted this contractor. Where does the Kalao District Council draw the powers to blacklist a contractor? When this contractor, the only problem he committed was that he could not mobilize on time, and also the poor quality of concrete blocks that is supplied, and then you end up blacklisting the contractor. I want to know the powers and which clause you use to justify your blacklisting of this contractor. Thank you.
Okay. Yes, supplementary.
Chair,
Take
on
note
the
of the
same
question,
question, page 8. The cause of the query, management wishes to acknowledge the audit findings on the delayed completion of staff house at Kalumbu Primary. And the council has even indicated that you demolished the infrastructure because of poor workmanship. My question was, where was Director Planning? And at what stage was this project demolished? So what stage, Chairman, and where was the Director Works? Because I know there are 3 stages. You do the, I don't know what you call the doctor, the substructure, then you come to the super walls, roofing. So at what stage? And I want to know where was the Director Works that caused, or who was absent from this particular staff house to annex that you only saw the poor workmanship and then decided to demolish.
Thank you. Honorable.
Thank you, Chair. Seriously, whose cost is this structure that was demolished? And where is the, since you are saying you blacklisted this contract, where is the evidence for your blacklisting? So that we can see how the blacklisting, I don't know whether it's a certificate or whatever, how it looks like from Kalaba.
Thank you.
I submit, Chair.
Thank you very much. Council Secretary, take note. You can ask him actually to speak to us, Director of Works. In addition to Honorable Sungombe's, that where was the Director of Works? You indicated that you finished the administrative course because you are monitoring projects. I'm 100% sure that this one you are not monitoring it until the day we found it actually up and discovered it wasn't a good structure. So this one you didn't monitor. So the money is finished for monitoring, and because you were going every day to this structure, but you still find one of them in that state. Your comment as you respond to these questions.
Thank you, Chair. Maybe the way the blacklisting could not be, it was for lack of better words, but we have, what we mean there is that he will not be engaging, asking him to tender because of the works he has done. But yeah, because maybe there are 2 issues here. There is one which is abandoned. That's the one we are talking about, where we are saying this one will not be able to invite him. There is one which is abandoned. But this other one where it was the structure was pulled down, at slab level it was certified. Slab level everything was okay. They certified. It is now at the superstructure level. That's where the contractor had challenges. Not from the beginning. The substructure level was certified, paid for, everything was okay. But at the time they went to monitor now the superstructure, it had reached ring beams level. That's when now it was discovered that the materials that we are using, the blocks, were not strong enough.
Chair, just a brief question. Don't you inspect the blocks before construction begins? And then how was the other structure certified if the superstructure, the blocks were not strong? For me, it means that even the blocks that they used at the foundation were also substandard, unless they had another source. So if the source was the same, how come the superstructure was put down as a result of poor blocks, and then the underground blocks were okay?
Yes, Council Secretary.
Thank you, Chair. As I said, the first one, they were certified. So there were also blocks that had remained. They were okay. They were certified. I think one of the things that we have noticed is that if you delay to monitor, you expect such things. And it's regrettable that at that time we delayed and allowed this to continue. But as I said, our team monitored and they discovered that it was poor workmanship and action was taken. And
Council Secretary, in the first place, you are telling us that your monitoring programs are so effective. They are so good, and this is the reason as to why you finished them, and they are so good, which is good. That is infrastructure is coming up, and then you are always on the ground, you are checking. But now you are admitting that yes, there was a lapse. You didn't go. I mean, you didn't visit this particular project on time. Now, two questions on it. Well, number one from my colleague is at whose cost? That is number one. Then how much was the next budget now? Because now we want to do it. Then how much? Is it the same amount that you had allocated or what?
Thank you, Chair. It is at the cost of the contractor. And I think in the evidence that is submitted, the contractor also acknowledged that there was an error, the blocks were condemned, and was asking for more time to look for resources so that he can take good care of the structure.
Okay, Honorable Monza, we want to conclude.
Yes, just
a few minutes before we.
Just to write on the question
Yes.
for Honorable Singombe here. On page 8, you're saying the cause of query was due to poor quality blocks that were used, leading to the structure being condemned and demolished. If I go to page 13, it is also an issue of cause of query. The one by two classroom block at Kuri Primary was due to 3,000 blocks that were condemned, and the contractor was stopped from using the blocks. So it seems the issue of blocks is quite prevalent in this area. I want to know from the Director of Works, what is, did you carry out any tests, like comprehensive test on the concrete blocks, and measure it with the values that are specified in your contract document, and prove to the contractor that your blocks are having a strength of so much, and in this contract it is this much, so therefore they are condemned. And what is your solution? What is your way forward for these issues of concrete blocks in Kalao?
Let's have another question. I want us to conclude.
I'm sure for me this one will be the last one.
Yes.
Yes. One of the queries actually was anyway, my background is that of giving out loans anyway. I want to mention to everyone. That's why I'm very interested. On page 16, what will you be? Don't forget the questions that have been asked there.
Yes.
Yes.
Take note of that. Page 16.
Page 16, actually, one of the queries was failure to disburse soft loans. And we've been told that the council has since disbursed all the loan funds to all the beneficiaries. My question is, kindly demonstrate to this committee that you have disbursed all the loans, and also tell us how much interest was accrued on this revolving fund, whether also that one has been disbursed or not.
Yeah.
What is the repayment percentage on soft loans in Kalabo and Liua?
Council Secretary.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Chair. With me here is a bank statement from the bank. It is not among the documents that you have, unfortunately, but I have a copy here which shows their own beneficiaries. It's here. It also shows that others have counted 14, is it 18, have since started repaying. So I have evidence which I am ready to tell.
Can you respond to the questions? What is the repayment percentage?
It's 5%.
It's 5%. How many of those are paid? According to that statement you are having in your hands.
Chair, they are starting to pay. I've counted 18 so far.
How many did you give out?
How many? No, this is only for Kalabo Central, 55. Out of 55.
Thank you very much. What's the interest there? For both Rio and the Kalabo.
Chair, I'm not able to state the total amount that has been repaid, but there is information here which can be analyzed.
Maybe you didn't understand the question. The question is, this money, you were queried actually failure to disburse. So the money was sitting in the banks, in those accounts. At that particular time, our thinking is that it accrued some interest. And how much interest was that? And if that interest was accrued, is it also the same money that has been given out to the people that were supposed to benefit? Because what we want to clear is failure to give out. People need those loans. And we know very well that after 2022, 2023, 2024, they'll still get some more money. So we want to capture as many beneficiaries as possible. That is what government wants to achieve.
Secretary, as we wind up.
Thank you, Chair. The interest has not been tampered with. It has not been allocated to any new beneficiaries.
Why?
As I indicated, the amounts that have, from the records that I have, the amounts that have been recovered are negligible. They haven't repaid everything.
No, but what about the interest? The interest also you are still waiting to recover.
Chair, I'm sorry, that one we have not done anything.
Yeah, but you have applicants, because I believe a lot of people applied for the same money. So once you have the interest, you are authorized to give out to the beneficiaries, those that are on standby, isn't it? Yes. And that has not been done. Kalabo, we want to appreciate your appearance. What?
The blocks that are bringing problems in Kalau.
Yes. What have you done? What have you done on the blocks? Because we have condemned the blocks that are being used there. Several sites, we stopped them, we demolished because of the same. So what are you doing about it?
Yeah. Thank you, Chair. Chair, normally when we do the site visitations, we also include inspecting the blocks. So if the blocks are not of standards, usually, even just by way of lifting, they disintegrate on their own. Unfortunately, we are yet to make provisions for testing of blocks. The only, I think, challenge we have is we don't have labs very nearby that can be able us to determine the strength of those blocks. I think the closest we have is Lusaka.
Do you have, how many companies do you have, like block making companies? You have a lot of companies there.
We don't have any block making.
Where do you get the blocks from?
So currently the contractors mold the blocks on site.
Oh.
So which has a, yeah. So.
But then, yes. So you can see that your sand is useless.
No, Chair, basically it depends on the mixing ratios.
Kalabo, we appreciate your appearance to this wonderful committee, but we want you to work as a team. Council Secretary, be on top of things. That excuse of sand will move you from there, from the sand, because there is no way also you choose to go and stay in sand. That's not right. You can't even build anything. The members of parliament are hearing that. They should relocate. But what we are saying is, less development is required. We appreciate that you have more than 100 projects for 2 constituencies, and you have completed more than 100 from your oral submissions, because we have not seen whether they are there. We need them soon, because we believe that in Nicaragua, I don't know how things are done, but we want things to be done properly. Thank you for making the appearance, and we want to withdraw the immunity that was conferred on you at the beginning of our interaction, and wish you well as you go back to Western Province. But before you leave, Garabo, why are you so wasteful? And I believe that's the reason as to why you finished the administrative component. And all of you here sat, the 6 of you, and you deemed this report good. This plain paper that you are using, the same one would have catered for everything here. But in Karabo style, look at what you have done to this stationery. Look at your friends, the ones without more sand, Karabo. Have you seen how smart it is? I mean Kawoma. Karabo, you have the tongue of papers like this. You get, and then you write. They are not. This is not being nitty. What's your name, madam? Muntali, please advise these men to be nitty. Just to be neat. Look at this. And look at this. Amuye. Thank you very much.